You're watching NewsX. My name is Vineet Malhotra. Well, reservation is a system of affirmative action in India that provides historically disadvantaged groups representation across the board. From education to jobs, as far as the status of religious reservation goes, the Constitution of India prohibits reservation based on religion. However, what the government does recognize is backward communities within religions. Well, now there is a political war of words and a storm that has erupted over the Calcutta High Court's verdict on scrapping OBC certificates for 77 communities, mostly Muslim communities, while labeling the process as illegal. While hitting out at Mamata Banerjee, the Prime Minister also stated that the West Bengal government issued unwarranted OBC certificates to Muslims for vote bank. Now, the question that we ask is, have the people belonging to the OBC community lost quota due to the certificates issued to Muslims predominantly? Is there a need to give out additional certificates to Muslims despite them being given out to backward classes within religions? Do the Hindus, Muslims, Dalits of this country feel cheated? That's the big question that we're going to be addressing for the next 30 minutes. Joining us to talk more about this is Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, Senior BJP Leader. Also joining us on the show is Vivek Bansal, Senior Congress Leader. Shomit Ghosh, Political Analyst, also joins us on the program. And last but by no means the least, Mr. Sumit Peer, Senior Political Commentator, a regular on my show, also joins us on the program. Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, I'll begin with you. Well, Mamata Banerjee has outrightly said that she's not going to, in fact, forget about recognizing. She's not also going to follow what the Calcutta High Court had to say. But when it comes to reservations, or when it comes to, in fact, looking at OBCs, different states have different mandates and different laws that they have used from time to time, specifically around voting patterns, that facilitate this kind of an advantage. If you look at Kerala, if you look at Tamil Nadu, if you look at Karnataka, there are different modes and ways by which OBCs are classified. Mamata Banerjee is of the view that these certificates were bona fide in nature, and whatever has happened here today is once again, I remind you, sir, she's once again used the word political vendetta and a conspiracy by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Where do you stand on this, sir?
It is so laughable, so irresponsible, and so derogatory to the judicial system of this country, what Mamata ji has to say. To say that an order by the Calcutta High Court is a conspiracy of the BJP is casting aspersions on the judiciary, which should not be taken lightly, which should be condemned unequivocally. Because if judiciary has to be maligned for its decisions, by terming them as a political conspiracy with BJP, that it is preposterous. Let me place the entire judgment in its context and perspective, because we've just looked at selective parts of it. You see, this is the West Bengal Backward Classes Act of 2012, which had a section 16, which empowered the state executive, the cabinet, to add any class which it deemed fit into the list of backward classes, OBCs. And that is what has been stuck down, and consequently, 77 classes which were included between 2010 till date have now been nullified, including the 37 classes specifically which were mentioned, which was adopted under the Act itself. Now, this is in a case called Amal Chandra Das versus West Bengal government. Here, the judgment says that the misuse and the abuse of the provisions of the Backward Classes Act has been because in 2012, Mamata Banerjee had announced that she will give 10% reservation to the Muslims in West Bengal. Now, this is blatantly illegal qua the Constitution of India, which has been interpreted in the Indira Sani case by the Supreme Court, which has struck down unequivocally that you cannot give reservation on the basis of religion. Now, to overcome this, surreptitiously, what she decides is to get these classes which have 100% or 99% Muslim population included for the purpose of reservation, thereby depriving the OBCs which are there under the other backward classes, which are there as per the constitution of their right of reservation. She has carved out a quota for these Muslims out of that reservation which was there for the other backward classes, which is a complete illegality, and that is the reason why the court has struck down on two grounds. They said, look, first you have to establish the backwardness of any community. She has not done that. She has unilaterally got these the Muslims added as classes under the OBC. And secondly, there is a requirement that there is inadequacy in their representation in the services. So there are two folds. One is the backwardness you have to first establish. You have to quantify the backwardness of any community, and then you have also to quantify the representation of that community in the service, neither of which were done. Now for Mamta to say, I will not follow the order, she is saying, I will defy a judicial order, is shocking for this nation. I think suo moto contempt must be
registered against her.
Contempt must be registered against her, and more importantly, the Supreme Court must come down heavily on this kind of an irresponsible statement by state government, which says, I shall not follow a judicial order. Can you imagine a judicial order which is well argued, which has exposed the pseudo-secularism of Mamta, of how vote bank politics has been used surreptitiously for including Muslims, which are not otherwise entitled to be included as other backward classes under this categorization. So rank communal politics of Muslim appeasement has been practiced, and this is what the judgment also says. Judgment says it is a political promise you made, which was an illegal political promise, and to achieve that promise in rank communal endeavors, what you have done is you've got reservation for people under the garb of other backward classes, which are purely Muslims. So this is a shocking state of affairs in West Bengal, and the judgment has exposed the rank communal politics of Mamta. And I think all the secular, so-called secular parties in this country must look at it. The Indian has a responsibility of reacting to it and say, is this the secularism they have talked about, or is this the blatant communalism politics,
all right, sir,
the vote bank politics of Muslims?
You're right, sir. Let me also rope in Sumit Peer into this conversation. Sumit, several Muslim communities do get reservations under the central OBC and several state OBC lists as well. According to a 2005 national sample survey, approximately 41% of the total Muslim population comprises of OBCs. So is this a case against what Mamta has done, or is this a case how she has done it for vote bank politics?
Vinny, thank you very much for having me on your show. What we are seeing is exactly the manifestation of truth, because that is what the Honorable Prime Minister has been warning us all. Bhai, they are going to take away the reservation from OBCs, SCs and STs and give it to the Muslim community. Why, after Prime Minister Modi's open challenge, nobody has even dared to counter Prime Minister Modi? Why none of the leaders from the India Alliance has even said, no, Mr. Modi, you're wrong. This is not what our intention is. Nobody has countered Prime Minister Modi, because what he was thinking would happen, it has already happened in West Bengal. I'll give you an example. Out of 179 people, cast under the reservation. Before that, we need one important point. It is very important to set the notion correct. A lot of people believe that reservation is only for Hindus. No, OBC reservation includes Muslims, and ST reservation also includes Muslims. For example, J&K, Bakrwals are considered ST. Only in SC they are not given any reservation. Coming to the West Bengal in specific, out of 179 total castes identified for reservation, 118 of them are Muslim. If you look at the population of West Bengal, 30% Muslims, how can Muslims, 30% in population, have 66% of the quota in the reservation as such? That is where the answer is, because after Mamta Didi came to power from 2010, she has been systematically adding Muslims per her discretion, without following any procedure, which is completely arbitrary as a part of vote bank politics to add to this OBC quota, and that is what has been happening. When people went to the court and the Honorable Court looked into it, they said, okay, anything issued after 2010 starts cancelled, suspended, because it is not as per the rule of the law. This is not how it happens in other states. So again, it was blatant politics for vote bank and appeasement of the Muslims. That is what happened. Now the question here is, I want to ask one more question. Usually in Islam, they believe that Muslims have no caste. So how what if Muslims are accepting this reservation? Is this against Sharia? Is this against Islam? Mamta Didi has to answer. Secondly, Muslims seem to have a problem in saying Bharat Mata ki jai, but when it comes to reservation and taking benefits of the reservation, well, they have to answer. And the biggest thing what I want to bring to your notice, Vineet, this is a conspiracy against our OBC brothers, against ST and ST brothers. Overall, the Hindu community. Why? Let's say we have total 1,000 seats, example, for doctors in West Bengal. Now, if 66% of the communities is Muslim, so in a way, you are giving 666 seats will go simple mathematics to the Muslims. Logically, the 15% should go or 10% should go. So who is losing? The people who are losing are the real OBC brothers from the Hindu community, SC and ST brothers. When you cannot change the law, what are you doing? You're breaking the law within. You are engineering defects within the law. So you are keeping the ceiling seat, but adding Muslims more and more and more. Tell me one state. Compare it with Assam, compare it with UP, compare it with UP where the highest number of Muslims live. What is the percentage of reservation for Muslims? Maybe 10, 12%. How come in West Bengal it has become 66% and most of them have been added after Mamta Didi came to power?
2011, you're right about that, yeah.
Viniji, let me remind you an important thing. There was one thing which was very, very controversial which hit the media around a year, 1.5 years back. There was a list of sub-inspectors which was out. And out of that, general category maybe 15, OBC category 35, and out of 35, 30 were from the Muslim faith. So everybody was wondering and thinking, bhai, ye jadoo kaise hota hai? Now we understand how is this jadoo done. It's like in J&K, you're 7% of the voting, and Umar Abdullah becomes the chief minister. It's here, you get 70% of the Muslims selected for the SI post because the system is engineered for a particular community. And by doing that, you are taking away the rights from the Hindus. Hindus are the people which are being penalized. It is blatant Muslim appeasement. And Mamta Didi is today saying, I will put a defamation suit of 1,000 crores to Modi ji. Go ahead and do it. And she is saying, I will not take the orders of the Quota High Court. I will go to the Supreme Court. Mamta Didi, Supreme Court is on 2 months holiday. And Mr. Amit Shah yesterday said that it is unthinkable that a person at a constitutional post like Chief Minister is saying, I will not go by the orders of the High Court. And if you are not going as a constitutional board and not respecting the orders of the High Court, then Mr. Amit Shah as the Home Minister and Mr. Modi as the Prime Minister, Constitution gives them a lot of powers to handle this situation. Tomorrow, there should not be a fiasco. Ye Modi ji ne kya kar diya? Because you are clearly defying Constitution, Vineet. Let
me also rope in Shomit Ghosh into this conversation. Shomit, if you're there with us. Shomit?
Hello.
Shomit, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, Shomit, around 11 crore is the population of West Bengal. Around 7.5 is the population of Hindus in West Bengal. 2.5 is the estimate, and these are obviously estimates of Muslims. And Sumit made a very valid point. How come, the Muslims living in West Bengal outdo the number of Hindus when it comes to OBC quota?
नहीं, मैं पहले ये क्लियर कर देना चाहता हूँ कि जो भी ये डेटा आया है, जो कोलकाता हाई कोर्ट का जो वर्डिक्ट आया है, पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार ने जो कहा है, ममता बनर्जी ने जो कहा है कि ये वर्डिक्ट इसे चैलेंज करके सुप्रीम कोर्ट में वो जाएंगे और जाना चाहिए। 2010 में पश्चिम बंगाल में सीपीएम का गवर्नमेंट था। उस समय एक कमेटी बनाया गया था और उससे एक सलाह लिया गया था। वो कमेटी बनाया गया था इसलिए कि हम क्या ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन का बढ़ा सकते हैं, लोगों को जोड़ सकते हैं। 1993 में जो रूल्स किया गया था, 1993 का जो डेटा था, जो आइन था, जो कानून के मुताबिक ये किया गया था 2010 में, उस समय 2010 में जो कमेटी बनाया गया था, लेफ्ट गवर्नमेंट, उस समय पश्चिम बंगाल का मुख्यमंत्री था बुद्धदेव भट्टाचार्य। 2010 का मुख्यमंत्री बुद्धदेव भट्टाचार्य के बाद 2011 में जब परिवर्तन हुआ है, ममता बनर्जी सीएम बना, उसके बाद सीएम बनने के बाद ममता बनर्जी ने उसी कमेटी का जो सुपारिश आया था, उसी सुपारिश को इम्प्लीमेंट किया। तो उसे इम्प्लीमेंट करते हुए कि ये दिखा गया है कि यहाँ की जो भी मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी है, और सिर्फ मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी नहीं, ये मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के साथ साथ ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं, जैसे मैं घोष हूँ, ठीक है, लेट इट बी वेरी क्लियर। आप लोग जो बाइनरी में खेल रहे हैं ना, ये सही नहीं है। मैं घोष के बारे में बोलना चाहता हूँ। मैं घोष हूँ, तो मैं एक शौदगोप घोष हूँ। शौदगोप, मेरे जो जात है वो शौदगोप है। घोष का तीनों टाइप्स होता है, ठीक है। एक कायद घोष, कायस्थ घोष, 2 शौदगोप घोष, 3 गोवाला घोष, मतलब जो बिहार में जिसे आप कह सकते हैं कि आहिर, तीनों टाइप्स का घोष होता है। जो आहिर होता है, जो ग्वाला घोष होता है, वो ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन में था। अब सौदगोप भी ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन में उसका होना चाहिए था, और सौदगोप में भी बहुत सारे घोष ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन में आ गया है। मैं सौदगोप रिजर्वेशन में नहीं पढ़ता हूं, लेकिन जो ग्वाला घोष है वो ये जो मुताबिक गया था, ये जो कमेटी बनाया गया था, इस पे बहुत सारे ग्वाला घोष को ओबीसी कम्युनिटी में शामिल किया गया था। अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने क्या किया, वो ये सब जो हिंदू कम्युनिटी में भी जिनको ये ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन दिया गया था, ये सब भुलाकर इसे एक हिंदू मुसलमान का बाइनरी खेलना चालू कर दिया। एंड आई एम क्वाइट श्योर कि जैसे जो हमारी कलकत्ता हाईकोर्ट का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड बहुत अच्छा है, ग्रेट ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड वी हैव, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जितने भी वर्डिक्ट आता है, जितने भी मॉनिटरिंग आता है, जितने भी ऑब्जर्वेशन दिया जाता है, हर वर्डिक्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट में स्थगित हो जाता है या तो चेंज हो जाता है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाकर यहाँ पर जो भी राय दिया जाता है कलकत्ता हाईकोर्ट की तरफ से, वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट चेंज कर देता है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट उसको स्थगित कर दिया जाता है। तो वी आर क्वाइट श्योर अबाउट इट कि जो भी इस बार भी आया है, जो ममता बनर्जी ने कहा है कि हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएंगे क्योंकि ये पॉलिटिकली एक मोटिवेटेड राय है, ऐसे उसने कहा है। उसने कहा कि मैं कोई जॉर्ज की नाम नहीं लूंगा, लेकिन ये पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड राय है, इसलिए कहा कि आरएसएस ने, टू बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक, ये केस आरएसएस ने किया था ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन के जो केस कलकत्ता हाई कोर्ट में। तो ये केस अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएगा, इसे चैलेंज किया गया है सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, ये अगर जाएगा, और आई एम क्वाइट श्योर ये ऐसा नहीं हो सकता।
पर चलिए आपने ठीक कहा, चलिए आपने कहा कि ठीक है सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाके वो स्थगित हो जाता है, पर एक मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पर एक अहम निर्णय को इस तरीके से ट्रीट करना एक न्याय की और इस पूरी परिस्थिति की अवमानना है।
नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल ये नहीं सोचता हूँ, क्योंकि ये जो देखिए,
चलिए ओके, चलिए आप नहीं सोचते, सुधांशु मित्तल जी से भी एक प्रतिक्रिया लेते हैं।
आंसर ले लीजिए
जल्दी।
हाँ, तोमलुक का बीजेपी का कैंडिडेट का नाम क्या है, ये मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, तोमलुक लोकसभा का।
ये आप मुझसे मत पूछिए, यहाँ पे सवाल मैं पूछता हूँ, आप एंकर नहीं, मैं एंकर हूँ। ठीक है, सवाल पूछना मेरा काम है, जवाब देना आपने मेरे सवाल का जवाब दे दिया, और मुझे सैटिस्फैक्टरी जवाब मिल गया। अब मैं सुधांशु मित्तल जी से पूछूंगा,
कलकत्ता हाई कोर्ट का जॉर्ज था।
चलिए ठीक है, आपने अपनी बात रखी। अब सुधांशु मित्तल, चलिए ठीक है, ओके ऑल राइट, आपने अपनी बात रख ली। सुधांशु मित्तल जी, यू वांटेड टू रिस्पॉन्ड सर, देन वी गो टू सुमित पी। मिस्टर मित्तल सर, आई कांट हियर यू।
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Go on, sir.
You have listened to the argument which has been propounded by the gentleman. It is so gross. It's so perverse. It's so demeaning for a functional democracy. Look at the thinking. He says RSS ने इसको करा था. इनको शायद पता नहीं कि अमरचंद्र दास is the petitioner. RSS was not the petitioner. मैं आपके बीच में नहीं बोलता, लेट्स हैव कर्टसी ऑफ अलाउइंग ईच अदर टू स्पीक। You are the most intolerant party. The kind of violence you have perpetrated in West Bengal has exhibited your intolerance in the name of democracy. Now, we are democratic here, so you do not interfere in my mistake. The issue is very simple. Just read the judgment. And it is an eye-opener how blatantly he has tried to mislead us, to tell us that I am a ghosh. So there are categorizations of the ghosh. The complete list of 37 which was included had nothing else but the Muslims of 100% reservations there. And that is what the judge said. Look, he says, you have not quantified their backwardness, which you are required to do. And also that they are inadequately represented. And arbitrarily, with the sheer purpose of appeasement and sheer purpose of fulfilling what you had promised, that I will give 10% reservation to the Muslims, which is illegal, you have found this surreptitious way of bringing Muslims into the ambit of reservation in a most illegal and most arbitrary fashion. That is what the eye-opener is. And look at the contempt with which they are dealing with it. They are saying it's a conspiracy of the BJP, that a judgment of the High Court is now a conspiracy of the BJP. Is this how you're going to deal with judicial verdicts? Is this how? Look at the pompousness with which he says, either they have been postponed. I don't understand. स्थगित क्या होता है भाई? a judgment, an appeal, if it is pending in a Supreme Court, does it become contrary to what the High Court has decided? Has it been stayed? He has again reflected the contempt with which Mamta holds judiciary and holds the judicial authority when it comes to interpretation of law. He has said, I will not follow it. I will not follow the order. The court has not struck down the appointment of people who are already added, who have already been given the services.
Mr. Mittal, what kind of a message is this also sending to our constituents? You know, if the highest authority in a particular state, Sumit Peer, is defying the orders of the Honorable High Court in Calcutta.
See, the lawlessness of West Bengal is primarily out of the reason of this kind of contempt you have for the rule of law. Today, the most violent state in India is West Bengal. You've seen what is happening in the election.
Absolutely, sir.
You've seen one case.
Right, sir. Let me also accommodate Sumit Peer. We have a paucity of time. Sumit, what do you make of Mamta Banerjee's defiance when it comes to courts? And we've also seen, how Shomit also said that until it gets to the Supreme Court, we know what the conclusion is going to be. And of course, this is not befitting. This is not commentary which is befitting the democratic fabric of our country.
Vinny, the first and the most important point is that our fellow panelists and Mamta Didi are on the same ground. They don't seem to have any respect for the Honorable High Court of Calcutta. He is kind of suggesting that the High Court of Calcutta is biased and will go to Supreme Court and manage the show. That is casting aspersions on the judicial system of India, and it is a serious thing which you should take note of. Point number two, Vinny, it talks about the motive. Basically, why is Didi not so happy? Why is she talking of 1,000 crore defamation suit and all? She was running this chup chap. And this is what she possibly told to all the India Alliance members. Dekho, aise karenge. We will, within the system, will break the system. I have already done it in Bengal for 14 years. This is the formula. That is how you give Muslim reservation. When the Prime Minister challenged everybody, why didn't everybody, counter the Prime Minister? Nahi ji, hum aisa nahi kar rahe. They were all silent because this was the model. When the model is called off, Vinny, just before last two phases to go, in which out of 42, 17 seats are going, obviously Mamta Didi is rattled. Obviously she'll say, hum nahi manenge. Obviously she'll say, no, I don't listen, reservation chalti rahegi. Supreme Court is on a holiday, unless and until you have a cloud that you can get Supreme Court to work on, cancel their holidays and come and work on, but that is no guarantee that it will hold. Today, those certificates stand, they are suspended, they are not illegal anymore. The problem is the court has pointed at a scam, and the biggest thing is that unfortunately, Hindus are being penalized in West Bengal for being Hindus. Why don't we see the bigger picture? Because ultimately, quota to wahi hai na, Vinny ji, 1,000 seats hai. Out of the, if I give 66% to Muslims, who is going to pay the price of it? Besides the scam, besides the political appeasement, the Hindu community of West Bengal is going to pay a price for it. And this was the formula which India Alliance had in mind to get it rolled across India. If you talk of Karnataka, if you talk of Telangana, such attempts have been made and now they have been kind of stopped. But things are, that is what the bigger plan is. What is Rahul Gandhi talking about redistribution of wealth, economic survey? Why are they talking about Jatigat Janagana? And he didn't answer my one question. 179 are the total castes, total caste. How come 118 are Muslim out of 179? How come 66% are Muslim where the Muslim population is 25 to 30%? Mathematically, it doesn't make sense. Show me one other state of India where this all holds. And now, as per some sources, what I'm hearing, that Mamta is so rattled that she's trying to get people imported from elsewhere to, poll for her for elections. I don't know, are they Rohingyas, are they from Bangladesh, or whoever are they? And we have seen what was the one MLA of Mamta Didi doing, Sheikh Shahjahan. Sandesh Kali mein kya hua, sir? Vineet ji, aapne dekha. This is how they treat law and order. Sheikh Shahjahan was saying, I'm the law here. I decide the things here. And let's not forget how much of arms and ammunition was recovered from Sheikh Shahjahan. What was he trying to do? Was he trying to cut the chicken neck? Was he trying to start a war? Will Mamta Didi answer on that? What about those 54 crore rupees which are found with the minister? Where the minister says, bhai, mera paisa nahi hai. Kiska paisa, bhai? Whose money is that? There are a lot of skeletons in the cupboard. Now this blatant denial is that she is rattled. The model is being called off and all the people of India Alliance will not be able to implement this model. And I am questioning today, where is Rahul Gandhi? Where is Kharge ji? Where is Kejriwal? Will they utter a word on this scam? They'd say electoral bond is a scam, this is a scam, that is a scam. When the High Court has quashed this order, will they utter a word about this? They're all silent. Imandari ki certificate, mathe pe laga ke sab ghum rahe, and they will not utter a word. Because here, the people who are going to be affected are Hindus. That is why it doesn't matter.
All right, Sumit. We've run out of time. All right, Sumit. I understand your emotions, but unfortunately, we have run out of time. Sumit Peer, Mr. Mittal, and Mr. Ghosh, appreciate you joining us. On that note, we take a short break. We'll be right back.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.